Welcome to the weekend edition of the King Mo Show. It is a beautiful summer day. It's about 77 degrees, not too hot, little breeze. It is a beautiful day. And it made me think of what could I go for other than cicadas chirping in my ear, and that was gin. So since I'm going to talk about gin, it makes sense I would talk about Kentucky and bourbon and distilleries. Sometime last year, I went down to Kentucky and visited a bunch of distilleries, and one of the ones I went to was Castle and Key. I'm going to cheat. I'm looking at my notes right here. It is in the restored Old Taylor Distillery that was originally built in 1887. Beautiful place. It is so cool. It's just beautiful. It's in a valley, if I recall correctly, along a creek, river, water type thing. Absolutely beautiful. And I tried some of their bourbons, not all of them. I tried some of them, and I was not a fan of any single one of them. However, I tried their gin, and it was phenomenal. And so I pulled out my phone and I looked online to say, does it make more sense to buy it here at the distillery or back in my home in Ohio? And it was cheaper in Ohio, so I said, yeah, I'll buy it there. And then I never found it again. Until about 2 weeks ago, I found it. Castle and Key Roots of Ruin Dry Gin. First thing I want to point out about this thing, it's 106 proof. I'm used to having bourbons with like a really high proof or rye, but I don't recall having a gin of this high of proof. And I was like, wow, that's really strong. The Roots of Ruin, a spirit from the ashes. It really doesn't say much else about it. There's stuff about the distillery on the back of it, but as far as like the packaging goes, this is an extremely thick, heavy, beautiful bottle. You can see it's sweating. I keep my gin and my vodka in the refrigerator. I like to keep those chilled, but none of the other ones. So 106 proof. And then the cork, it's cast and says Castle and Key Distillery. It weighs a ton and it is super cool. So I've opened the bottle because I've made some cocktails with it, but I honestly don't remember what it tasted like just by itself. I do know within the cocktails it was great. A little bit of the juniper. Actually, I think it smelled like a little bit of apple, which is strange. It's not like the gin I had been drinking before. Oh, that is warm going down. The gin I had been drinking before tended to be more citrusy. This is not. It's more of a floral, not overpowering juniper. Not very herby. It's herbaceous. Let's just go with that. A little bit flowery. It's herbaceous, not overpowering juniper. It is really good. But to me, where it really shines is when you make it into a cocktail. I originally planned on like bringing everything out here and doing a live demonstration of how to make a gin and tonic, but I figured that'd be silly. You got some gin, some lime, and some tonic, and whatever ratio you like is what you do. But I'm gonna go get one and I'll be right back. So I'm back, and there's a couple things I want to tell you. I may have mentioned before, but the ingredients you use make a huge difference. When I used to make gin and tonics before, I would buy a 1 liter bottle or whatever they had of like the Kroger brand, or if I was feeling fancy, I'd buy Seagram's or something like that. it's okay. Fever Tree, tonic water, totally changes the game. Totally changes the game. So much better, and you don't end up with like some stale, semi-flat stuff that you're trying to get rid of, and you ruin a cocktail. The other thing is fresh ingredients where it makes sense. If you need pineapple juice, it's kind of a pain in the butt to try to juice a pineapple. But as far as like lemons, limes, oranges, and those types of things, you got to get one of these puppies. This is for a lemon, hence the yellow, which matches my shirt. But I mean, a lime works perfectly fine in that. That also, and I'll say that Matt called me out too many times on not using a fresh lime or lemon juice. It changes the game. So I'm not necessarily a fan of garnishes, but originally I just wanted to show off that I was using fresh. This is so good. This is so refreshing. Castle and Key, there's Roots of Ruin, high proof gin, which you can probably use as a weapon afterwards because that bottle is freaking solid. You can throw this stopper at someone and probably knock them out or put an eye out. Roots of Ruin gin. Phenomenal. I think that's all I have to say for today. Have a great weekend. Cheers. I've been slacking. Mason Rudolph, come on, like one of my videos. Cheers.